What's up, guys? Welcome back to our daily stock market insights with Miss JD. Thank you to those people who have already watched the first part of our daily stock market review today. I'm going to add the link down below so in case you have not watched that, um, you may check that out before the market opens later today. So time now it's already 1:32 a.m. So this is a pre-open stock market review for January 13, right? So thank you to those who have already managed to drop a comment and have acknowledged our insights for this afternoon. So I'm going to continue, all right? I'm going to continue our discussion because I know this is where I ended earlier today. So I reviewed up until BPI. And I also have gathered 5 requests on the comment section: ALLHC, VUL, AGI now, and Mary Mart. Okay, let me go ahead and continue. So let me first begin with the requested stocks. Okay, so ALLHC, where are we now? By the way, before I get started, if this is your first time, I am highly invited. I'm inviting you to uh, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. And yeah, so and I think that's it. That's my only message. So let's talk about ALLHC. I I see that ALLHC has increased and has was on a bullish movement or a bull run since the month of September last year. And each time it fluctuates, right? As you can see, if it retraces, it manages to bounce right at the MA20 level. So at this point, I think it has already reached the peak, and people felt that this is starting to look expensive. In fact, we already had those indicators or signs that this stock is really about to decline. Because if you look at this, your RSI, as we move higher and higher, your RSI is giving us some signs of weakness. As you can see here, while the price has been moving to the upside, your RSI, on the other hand, is declining. Now, what does this mean now? We have crossed the MA20 line and we managed to recover, but the recovery is partial, meaning the moment we reached the MA20 line, we have encountered some rejection. So what does this mean? Your MA20 now becomes your resistance. And when we say resistance, that is the area, it's like your ceiling in a house, that whenever, let's say, a ball hits the ceiling, it gets rejected. And what does this mean now? So we're now on the verge of producing a downtrend channel here. So if you have a lower high when it bounced, your high now is much lower than the previous one. So that's one. And then if it continues to drop and creates a lower low, right? So when it dips, it reaches some lower levels, then you have a downtrend channel. So for instance here, what I am seeing is that there could be a possible support right at this level over here. The reason why I said that is if I look to the left, there was some form of um, consolidation that happened here. That each time this price area is hit, then there are some slight bounces that's happening. So we could be respecting that. However, it's still undecided because in the event the 312 level gets uh, broken, then you have this area that we could actually, this price level over here, it is an area to begin with. So this level is overall your support area. So it could have some slight overshoot down here, and that is still considered as it's still um, respecting the key level that we have plotted here, because it is an area. Okay, so this is still a support level. So if it declines, all right, if it declines and does not respect your support level over here, then the next possible drop could be right at this level. Okay, at least now you know that we are currently sitting at a possible or very near a possible support. So it's critical that it bounces. So I hope this foreign buying, which is not that significant in terms of volume. So if you want to understand that as well, you can click foreign over here, and that gives you an idea on the volume of the foreign buying and selling that happened within the day. So yes, it's nice that there was some foreign buying that happened. However, it's not that much in terms of volume. One thing though that we can take note of, if you look to the left here, the foreign buying that happened right on the month or back in December, right? So this was a huge volume over here. But days or weeks after that, the decline or the selling that happened, it's not that big of a volume. That means people or the foreign investors who entered right here has not totally uh, gotten out of their positions yet. So they could still be hanging in there and accumulating. So they could be buying some more whenever they see opportunities right at the support levels. They could be adding more here or here, right? So this could explain why we're also seeing the foreign buying here. So they could be adding more volume to what they already have at this point. So just take note of these key levels, all right? 291 and 312, if in case it will continue to dip. I'm saying it will just dip because, again, talking about the fundamentals of the stock, this is Ayala Land, right? So again, one of the companies of the Ayala. So I think this is just the market sentiment when we see it declining, right? Then it could just recover anytime soon. The next stock would be VUL. All right, VUL. So we had 4 days straight of bullish movement, and now this red stick that we have, or red candlestick that we have right at the MA20 line, that for me is a possible sign of rejection. While it's true that we're slightly above the MA20 line, things like that can happen. And the true story is it is still rejecting your MA20 level. So that is still respecting the resistance area that we have at that point. So what do we mean by that? If there's another red by tomorrow, right? So it's undecided because sometimes we could be breaking a resistance level, right? But with this kind of view that I see, the probability of it dropping by tomorrow or later today would be higher against my conviction that it could continue its upside. So this now for me is a resistance area, and then first we could be revisiting the previous support that we had around the 1 peso level. So if you are already profitable, my recommendation is if most of the action happens below the 124 by tomorrow, I suggest maybe you can lock in some profit in the buying power that you have. You may re-enter at the area near the support, which is around peso level. Okay, so could be slightly higher. Again, it is an area. We could be stopping right at the 1.04. Reason why I said that is because if I look to the left, you had consolidation right at this point. This used to be a resistance. So when we go back to that level, we could be respecting this versus the 1 peso. Okay. Again, it's 1.04 and 1 peso. That's very, very near each other. So it's an area. Support is an area. Okay. Rare seldom will you see that any vlogger or any guru uh, will not be able to have spot on analysis each time. They could be right at a certain area. We all know that that's a support area, that's a resistance area, but to the last cent it doesn't work that way. Okay, it could be slightly higher or slightly lower. So just take note of that. Support and resistance levels are areas, so slightly lower or higher. The next one is AGI. AGI, as you can see, is also similar to ALLHC. You see, pretty much the same, right? So AGI has the same pattern at the moment. It got rejected right here at the MA20 line, so chances are it will go down, further down, and then could be revisiting your 9.47 level again. That's the first area to watch out for. Okay, 947, 949. And then let us see if at that point when it goes down up to that level, let's see if it'll recover right away. Otherwise, we have to provision again key levels lower than that. So the next possible support could be right over here, but it could take 1 to 2 weeks even before it goes back to that key area. So at this point, try to monitor the 949 level first before you even uh, check out 862. But in the event, your call, right? So um, same recommendation. If you already had a good base and you're in it for mid to long term, these fluctuations, guys, are just normal. So you got to decide whether you want to lock in some profit or you want to take advantage of these dips and add more volume, right? So for instance, I shared earlier that I still am in Dito and I saw the stock dipping at the moment, but I'm not exiting. Rather, I'm waiting for it to drop even more and trying to haggle around probably 11 peso area, and then I can add more volume. Next possible drop would be the 10 peso level. So at that point, I don't know if the market will even give me a chance, but I'm sticking to my plan, which is around the 11. I just want to haggle right at that area. So same is true when you talk about stocks like AGI, and let's say you're in it for mid to long term. These are the key levels where you can potentially re-enter if you'd like to add more volume. Next one is now. Okay, now, so same methodology that I follow. I have to observe the 389 area first. Okay, so which today it was also hit and it just managed to bounce. This is currently an area of possible support. Okay, possible support because this could be in the short term a double bottom that we have short term, okay, worth how many days, and you have this. But again, when you talk about short term, then of course it's a little bit noisy. Things can just abruptly change. So let us observe if this key level at this point is really respecting the what we call a double bottom. Okay, it retested that support, and let's see if it will. One, stabilize. Two, so it could do like this, or it could just simply recover right away. Worse is if it breaks down, and I'm not saying that's impossible to happen because there are so many support levels that can also be broken, right? Um, at this point, my take on this is that I still find this area as a strong level of support. Okay, we've already dropped significantly and we're just halfway in our recovery. I don't think we are going to go back to the height of the pandemic. So the market is slowly recovering. So I believe this stock will also follow the same trend. So 391 for me is the support to watch out for. Okay, another interesting stock that I am closely monitoring for a possible re-entry because I already exited here around 792 yesterday, back in January 11th, and it's now dipping. So I just found that last 11th, I just felt that, this stock is struggling to move forward in the price. And true enough, this day it declined. But again, this is another bullish stock in the market. If it is going to drop, I think I can um, check out for a possible re-entry around the MA20 line, which is 651. I don't even know if it'll go back up to that point, because if you are to look at the short term this time, there was a possible support here, so this could also establish a support at this key area. We're not 100% sure yet, but 2 days here dropping at this level, and then the last day, which is January 12th, we also stopped right at that area. So I cannot just neglect that, and we could possibly create a support right there, bounce right at that level. Otherwise, if we break this, then the next area of possible bounce would be right at the MA20. And we all know that if we're moving higher than the MA20 and it goes back to that area, now that could create a support again at that level. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the requests that you guys have dropped into my uh, channel. This time around, let me continue with, oh, I think I mentioned this today. Yeah, I mentioned Mary Mart in today's discussion. Let me see, I stopped right at BPI, so let me see JFC. JFC also had a red today. And you see this MA20 line, this is an area of possible rejection. So it got rejected, so chances are we could go back again to the 182, or it could be halfway, and then let us see if within the day we could recover right away. But at this point, 192, there's a chance that we could revisit that, right? Selling is still ongoing for this stock. Yeah. I am still in a position with JFC. I think I can trim it down. I'm thinking of reducing my size there and then probably wait for it to go down some more. I'm not even sure if 192 will hold. If it will not hold, then we can just catch it somewhere around. But I don't think 179 will still be revisited. I think that's too cheap. Considering the movement of the market now, almost all the stocks are recovering, but we gotta wait and see. The moment we reach 192, let's try to understand how our candlesticks are forming, those kind of things, and see if it will bounce right there. But in case, I'll just peg it right at the 179 level. I don't know if it is going to go as deep as that level, 178, 179. But tomorrow, I just feel like there's another red by tomorrow for JFC. What about MBT? Same. What happened to the index again? Oh, but there's an MA20 right here. So for MBT, okay, this is the area to watch out for. I see a possible red for MBT. This is a solid drop right over here. No wick. Foreign selling still there. So chances are we could have another red day tomorrow. And MA20, no. MA20 right now is the resistance, and it could possibly go back to 44.83. Now, my recommendation is, yes, it could touch that area, but if you want to play safe, wait for a green candlestick to come out at that level before you can enter. Otherwise, if you're already 100% sure that that for you is already cheap, then go ahead and enter, right? If your outlook anyway is on a mid to long term, then how many peso difference, like 3-4 peso difference, I don't think you'd mind that, right? If you're long term. But there's, big potential right over here. We're just halfway in our recovery. Pure gold. Pure gold. There's foreign buying that happened. Nice. It did a double bottom at this point with your RSI slightly higher, but that was a solid red. So being on the more conservative side, I'd suggest wait for a green candlestick to come out. Or you can probably try it out tomorrow, but try to enter end of day. At least you already have 80% of the picture of the whatever the outcome of the candlestick are or is. Okay, we're currently sitting at a possible support. Your RSI, when it did a double bottom, slightly higher this time, and you had some foreign buying, so probably promising. Okay, so while the rest of the world, or the other stocks are declining or were declining back in April, May, June, this stock was really rallying uh, to great levels. But right now, people are selling, and selling has not stopped as of yet, still on a decline. But this right over here, the past 6 days, and the current formation right now is giving me some signs of hope that we could be bouncing anytime soon. There's a cash dividend that's done. X date is done, so I don't mind that. Okay, so that's for pure gold. AR. AR could also have some. Okay, this is where I want to plot my support for AR. There, MA20. Okay, so let's find out. Ooh, interesting. You had foreign buying, significant volume. What could this mean? What could that mean? Okay, so maybe closely monitor that because this could be a good sign. Your foreign investors are showing interest here. So maybe as try to haggle between 0.002 and 0.003. Maybe just test buy if you want. Okay. Um, I do not have a good story here or backstory that may have influenced the sudden climb here. Unless you have some information that you know that I do not know, kindly drop a comment, please, because I just cannot neglect this foreign buying that happened today. So despite the red, foreign investors are buying the things that you're selling. Okay, so watch out 0.0029. That's an area to closely monitor. Mining. They said that the mining season happens around March, April, right? So is it because we're nearing that season again? I don't know. But at this point, I'm just looking at the technicals. That is a possible support at the moment, right? URC. URC is also foreign selling there, but not that much. Okay. Just be careful. The next possible action here, I think we could see another red by tomorrow. Profit taking. Do you see this? Declining declining RSI. While this is, similar to what we have for double bottom, same concept, guys. When you hit the resistance twice, and then your RSI is much lower when it reaches the same point, that means momentum is starting to die down. And so if it drops, of course, MA20 line is the next bet right here. And I placed it slightly lower than that. Reason being is I see this. This used to be a resistance. So it could respect that too. Okay, and there's another one over here. So those are your key levels. Another good company right here, very solid company in the country. It's under consumer good sector. So very stable. And the only thing is we're already halfway in our recovery. I don't know when will be the best time we could go back to this level over here around the 200 area, but definitely we're already starting to recover, right? So just take note of those key levels that I have plotted in the short term, right? So if you are holding on to this stock, just drop a comment. Let me know if you'd like me to review this, because sometimes there are days that I don't reach this stock, but worth really mentioning if you guys drop a comment. That reminds me each time. Okay, so 153, that's your support. All right. Okay, so I think that is it for this evening. So that is your pre-open stock market review for January 13. Okay, so for those people also, if you're interested in trading the US market, I have a link to my eToro account. I mean, to my referral link to eToro in case you wanna start trading the US market. Okay, so creating an account is free. Although this evening I received an update from them. They said that the minimum amount that you need to deposit to start trading live stocks would be $1,000. Previously, it was just $200. So I'm thinking because um, the number of users that we already have in eToro has really shoot up in terms of volume. So I think they're also managing the population right there. Uh, so that was their message. And yeah, just to remind everyone, creating an account is free. So that should not hinder you. If you want to learn the US market, Forex, cryptocurrency, if you want to trade them, go ahead and create an account. Take advantage of the virtual trading that they have there on the portal, on the site, and you can already try to immerse yourself on the interface of the platform, and until such time you have that amount that you can use to start trading. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, so that YouTube will discover Miss JD here, and we could have more people watch our video. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now.